I think they need to not play into BNK's weaknesses. I think they need to not be in the mentality that they've seen what BNK has done on this map recently against the likes of Rooster, against the likes of Greyhound, and not play with against what their weaknesses were. Because BNK are a squad that will put in the practice on their weaknesses to figure out and know what their weaknesses are first and foremost, but how to counter their own weaknesses and expect from, if a team is trying to play to their weaknesses, how to adapt against that. So that'll be a nice early tell. You can already see in the pistol round an A main stack from Vantage because BNK were scared to take space over there, trying time and time again. Over towards the B side of things, though, not too bad so far from Vision to start things off, looking for a bomb plant that'll go down now.
Yeah, Valiants will get that over towards default. PZ taking a battle over towards bridge, but he'll fall off after getting that kill. And through Dark comes a couple of members of Vantage looking for this retake. One kit available on the side of Skull, so getting that kill does make this a very winnable round. And Skull's just going to get straight on it, and I think he's going to be able to stick this. No one's going to swing. Yep, no challenge. In fact, they got the double kill out towards B main anyway. Nothing that Attic could actually do.
Just felt like there was no reactions from BNK when that bomb was tapped. So either they thought it was a tap or maybe there was something that they just didn't hear the sound cue. You know, that's one thing, I guess, when you come to CS, communications sometimes can get quite loud and it does drown out the game sound. But it is just a pistol round at the end of the day. Bomb plant did go down for BNK, so they'll be forcing into this next round. But the confidence level for Vantage has to keep going, right? They have to not be scared to take these duels. They have to not be scared to take some risks, to take these fights, find their aim. Because more often than not, BNK were just shutting them down time and time again on the aim duels. So with rifle rounds, or the rifles in their hands at this point in time, now confirmed with shots towards Skull. Vantage should be setting themselves up with some rotations, some flashes, some space. They're being real passive at the moment. You can see that BNK are already just getting up in towards the A site by the time the Omi is just stuck on the side itself.
Oh, then that's a full white flash as well onto Craxy. Nothing he can do over towards scaffolding. Omi got some good damage in, but he too cannot find a kill there in response to a bit of that rush through A main, and there's not even a semblance of hope here for Vantage to go for the retake. They all fall off immediately.
Maybe this is reading a little bit too deep into it, but I'm surprised that with Skull taking these long-range duels over from E-Box to Canals, that there's no incentive for Vantage to try and set up a flash, to peek in towards B main, to get the information that no one is quickly surrounding this location and get some rotations happening. There's no stalling over at the A side as well. You know, Omi's on the side itself. You've got Craxy T playing there as well. There's no molly to buy time to flush out anything that BNK are trying to throw away, or there's no smoke either to try and just stop them for a little bit to make sure they either respect the smoke and then you can go for some information plays over at B, or flash yourselves in, go for an execute as BNK, because an execute at that point in time as well does give Vantage enough time to get some utility and reposition themselves. Playing dry, playing with no information gives BNK a good opportunity there to just overwhelm you, catching you out. A single flash into the site, and I think a single smoke as well. They got in, they get the 2 kills, and it's round done. So we need to see some more proactiveness from Vantage. We need to see that if they are not getting any space, that they're trying to find some space, because BNK are going to capitalize on that if you do not.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're the kind of team that obviously Vantage is aware of that. They know they're going to get punished if they don't, if they do make those kind of mistakes. And clearly BNK, very solid round from them, and for Vantage, disappointing considering they had an opportunity to maybe get a bit of momentum to kickstart Anubis after winning that pistol round. Obviously, bomb did go down, so clearly off of that, then you buy into the second round if you are BNK. So they did have enough weaponry to fight back into it, but they did lose A main and into A. Far too quickly, far too easily. So the response now has to come through from Vantage immediately, because you do not want to allow BNK to now win this third round. Suddenly, if they win that third round, then you're going to have absolutely nothing for the fourth round, and then onset is the ball that comes through from BNK, similar to what we saw back on Vertigo. So honestly, I know this is very early on, and it is the case now into the second map. This, to me, feels like it's going to be a very big round for Vantage coming out of this pause.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've gone into this round with a buy as well, right? It's not like you're just playing with pistols. It's only 1-1. You're resetting economy down after getting that loss, but you got an M4 on Vision. You've got a lot of utility. You've got a kit. I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, Omi and Cracky T, they've played the A site. They've both got submachine guns. Are we going for some early A main control to play close angles together? Are we dropping that smoke earlier to position ourselves to force BNK to get some utility out? These are the sort of questions that you got to start to consider in a situation like this as well, because you've got the lesser weaponry equipped over towards A. Are you cheating rotations early? Are you actually moving a player over towards the A site instead of either Omi or Craxy T? And with that evaporation of a player there, I think this might take a little bit longer.
Yeah, potentially. Does give Vantage a bit of time as well to really maybe overanalyze this round upcoming too, because it is a big round. And yeah, you got double M4, you got the Fat Mask. You know, it's only Galil's for the side being K. I say only, but full utility is probably the greater factor of it all, especially T side Anubis. So. But for me, I almost look at it holistically over the course of this entire series. You think back to Vertigo, 9-0 start for BNK, full total control of the map. Vantage couldn't win any of those early contact fights. They weren't even really able to, you know, force a couple of like kind of scrappy rounds. They were all quite clean and dominant from BNK. Here on Anubis now, especially CT's side, you want to get off to that good start. Don't allow BNK to snowball, as teams can do on Anubis. You win that first round, great. You give up the second, though, and then that kind of offsets that advantage that you once had, puts now the emphasis back onto you, back onto Vantage for this upcoming round. And obviously, they've also had a bit of time to really kind of discuss what they want to do. And I agree. I think, you know, you look at those MP9s for Omi and Craxy. Do they play the close angles? We'll see if they maybe even just get aggressive, look for a bit of a swing out, something. But I'm very curious as to how this round is going to play for them. Slightly less utility, ever so slightly, but a lot of flashes, especially good in terms of retake. So BNK do overwhelm a site, get plant down, then you got the pop flashes to get back in. Only the one kit, keeping that in mind as well.
Yeah, and I mean, BNK, when they play this map, more often than not, the default is over towards the A side, right? It's Canal's control. It's maybe throwing a little bit of early utility to bait it out. It's spotting over towards E-Box, spotting over towards mid window. Wouldn't mind nade stacks to come out from Vantage through the arch windows over at the A site either. You know, if you're looking deep into strategies and you're looking at some defining teams and understanding your opponents on this map, you are trying to come out with utility such as that. If you are seeing what BNK are doing to come out with those counters, now it's real early utility from the T's in towards the B side of the map to try and get some rotations over. But all that utility dropping on down, the molly, the nades, it's not bringing anything out from Vantage at the B side, but they're doing what I was wanting to see over on Vertigo, right? They see some things over at the B side of the map, and they take the initiative. They take the space over on the other side of the map to get that information, to start to make some moves to rotate over.
MP9 in mid for Craxy probably won't be the biggest of threats through that bridge window. Over towards main, they start to slow walk over, and it's actually a bit of a slow walk back. Don't be too surprised though if Omi holds the close angle with the MP9. I like the double stack on A though. Wouldn't probably be opposed to seeing Night Raid with the M4 play over towards, say, Heaven.
Yeah.
Obviously, noise has been made, clearing A main with this Molotov, so preparation, I think, already for Vantage that they start to maybe want to push B main, get that clear information, but they're going to be like 3 stacking on the other side of the map. So Omi has to get 1 or 2 here and got both in MT9. Pulls out
How's
the
he got
pistol
3?
as well. He does indeed get 3. And unfortunately for PZ and Addict, it's not as if they can quick rotate over to B because they've still got 3 players over towards B. In fact, it's a push through mid for Addict. Through a smoke as well. Night Raid knows full well that mid has been given over. Probably didn't know that he'd already crossed that close though, and that could open up the site here if they go quick. 2-on-1.
Oh, there's still an opportunity. I mean, a 1v3 for Addict, half HP, needs to try and get the bomb point down. 5 seconds to go though. That flash will give a bit of information that they are coming through the main side of things. Skull Hunter swinging out. Does he expect him to already be crossed on over? They now know the double swing together. The kill claimed by Vision. So the answer back from here is going to be over to the side of Vantage. But I got to say, the 2 players, Omi and Night Raid, that push A main, a little bit unfortunate that they do fall back when the smoke starts to expire, right? Had they stayed, waited for the fade, or when it starts to fade, have a flash set up, they would have blinded so many BNK members to get that early information as well. And you don't need to see cheated rotations to B to stack 3. So these are the things as well where, you know, they're respecting their own utility or their opponent's utility a little bit too much and expecting it to be a brick wall. See if that is going to just maybe still favor them in some scenarios going on forward. But these are the rounds that are going to be the real tests, right? The AKs are out for BNK. You've got your rifles for Vantage. You've got the AWP for Night Raid. These are the rounds that are the bread and butter rounds.
Hazard just straight in towards E-box. Flash, though. And that allows the push out through the smoke. Hazard was ready for a bit of a swing. Good shot back, at least from Night Raid. Keeps the advantage with Vantage. 4 on 3. And certainly far more competent here on Anubis than what we saw from Vantage back on Vertigo. Addict through bridge now, and Hats with a bit of mid control through double doors. See, he might get timed. No, just spots him. He should get trade. He does. Addict then gets a second. Omi also tried to maybe go for a trade off of Craxy's death, and they've got themselves full A site control. Through main does come the bomb. They can get the plant down comfortably. And Vision and Night Raid really have to consider, do they go for this retake? Double kit. Yeah. It is an AWP, but Hats and Addict are low, and that should be calmed over. So I think they might just look for exit frags.
I mean, you know that Omi and Craxy T are generally the A-sided players, so you know you've got that open plant, you know you've got the site, but I think the important issue is there is no smokes or mollies for Vantage, so they have to be winning these duels. So you want to be seeing these rifles just held in hand. Hats and Addict low, as you mentioned. The AWP scope heard. The challenge up. Night Raid misses a crucial shot. Now it's all onto Vision coming in, playing Waterfall. The kit's here. He's not going to be able to go for a ninja, surely. Addict. Oh, hang on.
Nice.
Wait, they're not close.
I don't even know. This is so
They're not close. He's got it.
He's got it. Well,
wow.
That was the play. I think you could clearly see it. The way he was holding the pillar at Waterfall. He didn't want to make contact. Didn't want to give his position away. He just wanted to go for the ninja. Smart play after losing Night Raid with the AWP, and they steal the round away. BNK never cleared it. Didn't even give it the time of day, which is a little surprising to me, Dion, because you kill the player coming in from mid. You've got full heaven control. The only other place that the other can be is going to be from main towards Waterfall. And if they commit with the AWP, you should have known that they're going to be committing as a duo.
Yeah. I think you kind of understand it, though, as well, by the fact that Addict would have been the closest had he peeked on. You're expecting bomb radius. He wants to escape because he would die to it. And you're not expecting a ninja at that point in time. You would have heard a smoke or something like that. By timing as well, maybe you think that there is more than 5 seconds. Regardless, Vantage kept that round where they maybe shouldn't have, and they've opened up into the fresh one as well.
More aggressive from Hazard, straight into sight. The spray is ineffectual, but enough to at least help out with Valiance finishing the rest off. 3 versus 2 now for BNK at the lower end of that. Trying to get a bit of control over towards this long angle. PC can go for a plant. He goes in towards default. And Molly is going to get extinguished, though, as the smoke was still up. PZ gets caught by Skull. Shoots him in the back. Addict, though, was able to get one onto Night Raid, and he should know where they both are. The Domi again with the MP9. He's put that to great use so far here on Anubis.
Yeah.
And they're going to go up 4-1. And BNK shouldn't really have much money now in the bank going into the next round.
Good damage, though, from Skull Hunter in that scenario as well, to at least get a dink on towards him to make sure the MP9, I guess at the grand scheme of things, can finish it off, because at distance, if there was no damage delivered, maybe it goes the way of BNK there. Good retake from Vantage. You know, straight shooting through these smokes, getting the utility out, fading utility from BNK, not helping them either, but a bomb plant is actually what does help them.
T-side is so broken with money.
Yeah, 2,900. You get your AKs out. You had a little bit of spare cash in the previous one as well, from the loss bonus, right? So we'll see what they can play with. I mean, it's not great. There's no real utility.
Just rush through B main, hope you can swing, get a couple of kills. That seems to be the plan for the last couple of rounds for BNK. 3-stack for Vantage over towards B. And that does mean that in terms of an A main slow walk, and that's really all they can do, that's going to be effectual. PZ catching Night Raid, gets him down to 24 over towards E-box. And I think it's just going to have to be wait for that flash to come from Hats, pop flash out, and Waterfall in towards the A site.
Yep. Should be easy pickings for Vantage here. Not too much utility to BNK can throw their way, but as the util starts to go on down, it's a good flash on out. Omi capitalize in the flames, gets 2. And now it's all on to Hats. Information known by the utility and the bomb plant, and it's just a matter of time for Vantage to start to encroach upon his position. Crunching from main. Craxy T falling back. Doesn't want to take a duel on low HP. maybe, just maybe, you see a world in which Hats continues on, finds the one-on-one against Craxy, finds the one-on-one against Night Raid. If he doesn't take any damage, maybe gets the 1v2, but there's just so many things to consider at this point in time. 30 seconds to go. Molly is just going to flush him out. That's a nice tap, though, on a Skull Hunter.
Well, this is where Vision is just probably going to jump peek and not really take the fight until that sound comes out again. Craxy, there you go. Swing over towards Waterfall. 1 versus 1. Hats is playing this methodically. Craxy's so low. Body shot will do it. 13 seconds. Does not opt to go to heaven. That means Bomb is down behind the pillar. Craxy, though, is close behind him. But Hats has now cleared heaven. Peeks out. And Craxy, though, from the scaffolding is good. 5-1 for Vantage. Bomb down again for B&K, but they're just not finding rounds here on the T side of Anubis. Yeah. This has been a, honestly, very different looking Vantage to what we saw on Vertigo.
I was going to say, did Night Raid disconnect? Or yes. Did he get the kill and I didn't see? Yeah, I thought so. Still, Craxy T to come through with the goods and get the round for Vantage.
No, wait, no, I don't think he did, actually. I'm pretty sure he
did he die?
Yeah, no, he did die, yeah. I mean, I could be wrong, but there was a lot of killing. There was a lot of killing in that round by Hats.
Yeah, the one kill on a Skull Hunter when he pushed the Molly and one-tapped him. The kill on
yeah, he only got two
second
main
player
side.
Through main. Yeah, he must have disconnected, yeah.
He must have disconnected.
Because he was still on the B side. Unfortunate, but hey, his teammate gets the round for him, so I think he'll take that.
Well, obviously, pause here. And there may be an opportunity and impromptu timeout for B&K, even off the tech pause, but they've still got money. This is the thing, because of that full loss bonus, and they're getting bombed down. Full loss bonus plus bomb down, and you can kind of just keep buying and buying and buying. But clearly, buying and buying and buying and not having full utility is just not working here on Anubis.
I mean, if you'd replace the name B&K with Rooster, point in time, you'd expect the force up time and time again. Because with them it would work.
It's not even randomly. Do you start thinking about maybe you take, say, 2 Galils and just start bringing a bit more utility into the round?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind from B&K coming out with like a Tech 9 or Deagle, buy a bit of utility, set up for an execute. If you can bait out Vantage with their incendiaries over towards a main early, for instance, that Vantage has been taking a little bit of this early main control with the standard deep smoke. You can pop up a flash. And try to push it, or you can just go dry as a team and try to waltz through and capitalize. There's so many things that B&K in this scenario could come out with as well. And I think those are the things that they discuss right now. What do they look to do? Because Vantage have been winning these retakes, right? And that's where it has actually come into fruition. It's the retakes that Vantage has been successful in finding. So maybe if you are B&K, you're putting a little bit more focus on a pre-retake scenario as opposed to a retake scenario. Get an extra kill or two, and it makes that retake almost, non-existent to be thought of, because at that point in time, you just need a kill or two and it's done. You're not contending with 3-4 members.
Well, a bit of an extended timeout here due to some issues. Probably not something that actually Vantage would be wanting. I think they're quite happy with the way that Anubis has played out so far. Reminder, it is their map pick, and they clearly have played it quite well. Vertigo was quite heavily one-sided, but Anubis is also now shaping up to be that way, but for Vantage rather than B&K. And it goes back to what I mentioned in the pre-match discussion as well, Dion, something to sort of remember, keep in the back of the mind. Not that I'm in any way, shape, or form implying that this is over. There's a long, long way to go, but Overpass, the decider map, is something that Vantage have played in their last 2 games here in the qualifiers. 13-11 over KZG, 13-8 over Wider Alley. So, they've had that very recency experience basically yesterday, playing both of those games yesterday. Puts them in a good position to, once again, bring out the Overpass for the decider map. If there's ever a world in which there's going to be the upset in terms of the actual series, and to see B&K eliminated, hey, Vantage on Overpass after playing it the last 2 days might just back themselves in if they can get the job done here on Anubis. In a good position, got to keep going though. Can't just let the foot off the gas pedal.
Nah, absolutely. And I mean, in a scenario where it is 5-1 as well, as B&K, you need to be having these discussions. How are we actually getting back into this? For Vantage, it's not to overthink it as well. More often than not, we've got I don't want to say young teams, but, you know, relatively in the grand scheme of things, Vantage, you know, kind of young in their togetherness. These scenarios that, you know, can they find this one? Can they go into overpass, as you say, up against Rooster? That's an opportunity for an overseas adventure. So just take these ones one round at a time. Your economy is not fully built up as Vantage. You got to be thinking, if we do get reset, what are we doing? Focus on not getting reset. Focus on finding these rounds. Focus on what is working as Vantage. Are you happy enough as Vantage to continue to try for these retakes where it is successful? I don't see why not. Now, finally, we get these buys to come in from BNK, which they are going to be going for a force up, it would seem. Bit of utility into the mix. No AWP, of course. Money didn't permit it. Are we expecting anything aggressive from them? Addict. I mean, he's like to peek into the B site nice and early to try and get an opening kill. That'd be expected by Vantage. Maybe they're going to be throwing out an early smoke or an early Molotov to try and stop Addict from doing that. He's actually going to be a little bit more respectful for himself and play a little bit deeper this time. And this early utility from BNK as well. Majority of what they bought up already gone.
Yeah, except for Hats. Hats is now someone to keep an eye on. I mean, he's still got a pop flash available for PZ. Double push out B main though. Addict aware of this. And he actually just spotted Skull. Skull can't make the cross back because PZ gets called over. That's a nice kill. Yeah. Smoke as well.
You're always going to understand why Vantage have gone for this push as well, because they've always seen Addict going for this aggressive peak. You know, you don't see it. You want to go for the information, but by that point in time, you waltz into the fingers of them. And Hazard does so on towards Night Raid. No trade to come out just yet. Finally does. 3-on-3. Rotations start to come out. Night Raid. He's a bit stuck.
By himself temporarily as well.
Shadow.
Just getting some help now. Yeah, it's a good kill from Hats. Craxy needs to get another one here. Needs the reinforcements to arrive as well through Omi coming down through CT. Loses his life bomb, goes down 2-on-1. One flash available for Omi. And PC very low. Very winnable. Doesn't have kit. One maybe on site, and he just isn't able to cover all of the angles though. And for BNK, after a bit of an extended pause, are able to come out of that with a round win.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, nice early little play to come through from BNK as well. You know, you're sort of conditioning Vantage to maybe go for a bit of a peak like that outside of B main. And it does work out that the information is found. Skull Hunter not able to do too much. Trades start to come in from BNK, push up the rebox as well. So it's good to see that these protocols are still, you know, being found in the midst of the rounds from BNK. And with no massive economy built up from Vantage, all the damage that was delivered previously is now seeing its weight. Just these pistols to come through for Vantage. The time for BNK to start to establish some good presence on this T side. Standard mid progressive utility from Hats is going to keep some good interest from Vantage there. Omi actually starts to fall away. Night Raid as well. Stack towards the A side of things is looking inevitable from Vantage, and if Hazard continues his way through the B site, you'd see that no one's home and they can make a rotation there if they want.
Exactly what he's going to be able to do. Valiant's making noise over towards A main, and said noise finds a kill. He's thinking about maybe a little bit more. Flash, turn around. Omi literally walks into his gun. Full white. And
yeah,
one of the funnier moments of the night.
Not a single point of damage done to BNK in that round as well with those pistols for Vantage. But at the end of the day, it's the first out of the two in the double eco that Vantage have to run through. See if they can get anything done in this one. Otherwise, BNK will get it within one. You're definitely looking for, on a map like Anubis as BNK, you're looking for the lead at the half, right? If they can make this 7-5, I'd feel like they'd have a good grasp on this map. You get the pistol, then you're starting to look pretty dominating to close it out in a 2-0 fashion.
Free kill and a second. These pistol rounds are not going to be easy for Vantage. Well, he had very much little to no expectation. 5-4. So from a 5-1 lead, 3 rounds go by, and evidently you can see the economic difference for T side and CT side on this particular map. T side, as long as they're getting bomb plants down, can just keep buying. CT side, though, it's a couple of pistol rounds, and that just gives rounds over 2 Ts, who now, of course, have got absolutely everything. 4x4 B&K. Util's okay for Vantage, but arguably not enough.
Yeah, Night Raid's going to be able to get that AWP back out. We've seen previously Hats throw a bunch of utility down through mid, and with that being absent in this one, Night Raid can start to creep up if he does want to. He's going to miss the timing for any mid-window push, and Hats is actually going to just go for that standard set of utility towards the double doors yet again with an assistive flash. And it is just going to eventuate that no damage is really delivered from Night Raid, but Hats down to 15 HP. Got a second guess going for any sort of a peak. And it's just a nice defense to come through from Vantage at this point in time, really making B&K think on how they want to start to navigate the remainder of this round. Towards the B site is where things are a little bit weaker. It's just Vision there, a little bit deeper onto the site, and he's actually going to get smoked on off as well. So for B&K, Miss Molly is going to keep them at bay and allow the rotation to come through for Vantage.
As it gets caught on site, Skull with a decent position. Now spots another pushing out B main, and with the combination of him and Vision, they're able to clear up the site really comfortably on the B. Pat's losing his life over towards Temple, and Vantage get one back in the rifle round for them. 6-4. Closing out here this first half, getting themselves in a really solid position. At minimum, that is at least tied for them. 6-6 if they lose their next 2, but in a good position to really nail home what's been a solid CT half for Vantage.
Yeah, that's actually a really unfortunate molly that PZ throws out as well, because it does deny the split take to come through from B&K. They can't overwhelm the site itself. Just look to push in with a flash after that Molotov, clear the smokes, get the bomb plant down, and go for a bit of a hold after the fact themselves. Just feels like the domino effect, unfortunately, on the back of that one goes all Vantage's way. New round, though. Rifles here. AWP out for PZ. Different look at the ace side for Vantage. A different look in the fact that Night Raid is now down for the count. No answer back yet either. So for the time being, 1:20 on the clock, things can really just start to settle. Craxy T to try and assist over at mid. There's a gap in the defenses, but Omi pushing the corner of the smoke. What a flick for Vantage. Last bullet in the chamber, mind you, to get that kill.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate for Omi. Just wanted to get aggressive off that spray, maybe kind of catch him. And I think if he had to just push 5 seconds later, would have. Opens up the round a little bit. Especially the map control that B&K now have on site.
Yeah.
They've got through canals. They've also got, and A main, they've also got, and for Vision and Craxy, not even really going to be a bothersome for them to even give this a try. They'll probably rather keep the AKs going into the final round of the half.
It's really good awareness from B&K in this point in time as well. You can just see that in the form of Hats lurking around canals, just making sure that if there is any little late peek out from the window, that's cordoned off, no flank to come into play. We've even got a player over at the B side of the map still lurking around to make sure that there was no extra push there, keeping the CTs there to make the take over at the B side a little bit easier. So it's good to see that B&K even spread, doing what they need to do to try and claim these rounds, and in the hunt right now. Craxy's got to be feeling it because they know where he is. And they take him from 2 different angles. No rifles surviving for Vantage in the second last round of the half, and moving into the last round, it's going to be a little bit of a party mix buy to come through from Vantage. There'll be no AWP. There'll be some M4s, some MP9s, and utility. I'm hoping for at least a kit, because we have seen B&K get these bomb plants down time and time again. So I'm expecting that angle to come through yet again. And no kit actually to come through from Vantage. Priority over on the little extra bits of util.
I'm just expecting this double swing out of V-Box to come, but Hunt's probably not going to be the one to do that with the MP9. As they're up close, PZ pretty much anticipating for someone to swing out of E-box. Skull getting maybe a little bit impatient.
I've seen some nice smoke play come out from Vantage at this position as well. Try and play on the edge of the smoke. So PZ is in the prime position to try and upset that. But now, in the 1-to-1, you're surely expecting a trade to come through from Vision. That happens. PZ here as well. But now Vision's stuck. Timing. It's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, don't know how PZ is actually fumbling the ball there. Pulling out his sidearm to take that duel. But it is still a player advantage for Vantage. Start to make their moves over towards the B site. The plant has to go down from BNK in this point in time.
2 for 1. Now makes it a 1 versus 1. And it's an MP9 for Night Raid Hats. You've got to be winning this with the AK, and he does. Even with that smoke obscuring his vision, Hats gets it done. 6-6 here on Anubis.
Part of my story, I'm going hard for that trophy. It's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming it's to win. You either got it or you don't. You either bought it or you won't. You either wanna give it everything or you wanna cry about a soul. I'ma say it from the jump. Mama ain't raised a chump. My mama raised me to persevere if I'm ever here in a slum. Cause nobody starts at the top. You do your part and you better buy. Working hard each and every day, even though some days it get hard to watch. But you gotta trust the process. Grind hard, don't you ever quit. It's a must, you see the progress. Got a ball till you get a hit. They can never do what I could do, cause they on the same stuff. If you doubt me, then I'm coming to show them what I'm made of. Yeah, always showing your integrity. Yeah, if you want it, I'ma let them see. No guts, no glory, not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy, it's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory, there's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend.
Well, it was a 5-1 lead for Vantage here in the second map of this best-of-3 semi-final, but evidently BNK brought it back to 6-6 to close out the first half. Now, Vantage go on the T side. We'll see what they can bring going up against BNK.
Dualies were successful for BNK when they brought them out on Vertigo. Let's see if they're going to be able to double down on their CT side of this one as well. Early engagement, just a how do you do. Nothing too sinister to come out of that one. But what information does the single flash in the smoke over towards the A side actually sell? Or rather the B side, sorry. It's the A side that's the actual target of Vantage immediately in. Shots from Addicts. The second one is gorgeous. And that's actually going to send Vision the other way because Skull's into B now.
Ooh, nice shot from Valiant. So over towards Canals. Valiant loses that battle though in E-Box. Opens up a pathway for Night Raid and Vision onto this B bomb site. Addict pushing out a temple, tries to get a bit of information. Here's the bomb go down. Not quite default, but still on the pillar. Easy going for that B main push, and he might just catch if they do push out, of which Night Raid does. Vision on site, they'll be aware of this. He takes the first shot, and that just about might be it, unless he can hit 2 really good shots. And this is not an easy position to hold from. He does a decent job. Oh, it's a little bit messy, but it was there for the taking. Addict himself wasn't necessarily clean, but indeed B&K will get the pistol round to start the half.
Yeah, got to go for that challenge as well. 2 versus 1. No kit for B&K. You got to try and find those jaws. You can just see from our armchair position as well, right? He's got to get that crosshair focus. The shots are just missing. It was planning for him too. You know, a scenario that you've got an incendiary or a HE grenade, albeit rare, in a pistol round. They might have been able to take that round, but you got to give credit to PZ going for the long flank instead of dropping down from the bridge. Get some nice timing as well. And there's that pistol for BNK that I said, the dualies helped him last time. This time it's some sharp shots from Addict and early in the round. Bomb plant in for Vantage, but no force up, mind you. So they want to make sure that they have kind of the 100% utility and rifle play that they want coming into the next round. I don't mind it. Our map down. It is early in the second half of this one. Some nice damage on towards Hazard. Does confirm that there's no force up for Vantage either.
Skull gets 1, but PZ there immediately to trade. Crack C on the other side of the volley. That's a nice little shot with the deagle. What's Addict? Up close. Maybe expecting, though, a bit of a backfilling behind through Canals, but not to B, instead to mid. And Addict will get the final kill. And it goes to 8-6. Hate to say it, but that's now 7 of the last 8 rounds for Bad News Kangaroos after the 5-1 start to Vantage, which included a very nice ninja defuse, which kind of kept the good times rolling, but they just haven't quite been able to get control back of this game.
I gotta say, a lot of those rounds, though, as well, Vantage weren't fully equipped, right? The AWP wasn't there. The utilities weren't there as well. They didn't really have everything that you want coming into a round. And I guess one could make an argument that they don't coming into this first gun round as well because the AWP is out for Night Raid. But I think if you want Night Raid activated, you have to get the AWP in towards his hands. His performance has been a little bit subpar in this map at the moment. So I want to see him field some confidence. Mind you, for poor Skull Hunter, can't do so for the remainder of this round. Down for the count first yet again. Lots of utility being exchanged in the E-box as well. All for naught, it does feel like. But B&K, if they have to give up the space at A, might make the retake a little bit harder. Good line for Hazard. No trade.
Yeah, triple stack A main as well. That's going to make life difficult when that smoke does plume, and it does. Catch crack C2 just as it had popped up, and I mean, at this point, you need to save the AWP.
Yeah.
Which is never a good position to be in T side, because you typically want to get that bomb down as much as possible, but 2 versus 5, bad position, smoked off from main.
At least he gets that kill, but I was going to say, this is the save in the previous round not working out, right? They had the idea to go for the save instead of the force buy up after the bomb plant, get all the utility, the rifles, the AWP out, and they didn't get a single kill in, kind of where it matters the most in the round, right? The mid to early stages of it. Now it's the later stages, and you're silently trying to creep up in towards the side of South. The swing on out, a missed AWP shot. The trade can't even come through. Great round for Hazard, a 4K, shutting it down in the beginning and at the end. And you do start to question for Vantage, take a timeout. You have to have a discussion because that was the one round to start to, field a good T side. early on. MR12, it needs to be earlier on as opposed to the old MR15.
Yeah, timeout. Absolutely required. We had the earlier break of timeouts inadvertently, which came at a time too when B&K were obviously down, maybe even looking slightly out. They were able to respond from that. Now Vantage need to kind of do the same. Running out of opportunities. Already down 1-0 in the series too. You lose this map, your opportunity to progress in this tournament is over. Of course, a reminder that Rooster awaiting the winner of this matchup in the grand final.
Yep. And go one step further on it as well. The nature of it being single elimination finals after all the opens earlier is that there is no advantage going into that grand final. Both teams at a nice clean slate.
Just wonder if we might be entering another sort of multitude of pauses here at 6-9. Not too much more to go in this if B&K continue to keep up this form of which they really have had throughout this entire series. For Vantage, it's been in patches. You think about Vertigo closing out the first half. They got 3 rounds in a row, courtesy of Night Raid on the AWP. So, there was a couple of little patch moments there on Vertigo. Here now on Anubis, up 5-1, right?
Yeah.
So they had that solid start. But B&K, they just don't stay down long. They don't give you many opportunities. They don't make that many mistakes.
And historically as well, I mean, the T side has been the sharper side for Vantage, nearing 55% of rounds getting victory. The CT side was a lot weaker, down nearly below 40%. So you're kind of wondering for them, we're going on to our quote, favored side, right? In the T side, but shut down real early on. You got a pistol buy up in this round. Expected to not go their way with the nice little flash peek out towards the main side of things. Nice trades, yeah, I'll give them that from Craxy T. PZ to shut that down. But just as I was saying, that's just a pistol round, right? This round has to go Vantage's way. If it doesn't, then we might be saying goodbye to them here.
Kept the AKs as well. Did B&K. Had the 3. Still have the 3. Now to get the AWP as well for PZ. AWP in hand for Night Raid. Someone to look to, as you said, to maybe stand up. Hasn't quite been impactful on Anubis. Was solid on Vertigo. Was actually one of the kind of only ones who was solid on Vertigo. 6-10 though. What can they do to open up this game? 3 through Canals, 2 over to Wards. B main, no, maybe Bridge. It's Night Raid that does actually have an impact in the round to begin with, and needed to. With that opening kill onto Hats. Bit of water control as well, just outside A main, but not much more than that. They drop bomb to the stairs. They do slow it down.
And I think that's the important thing at the moment as well, Vantage. They got the opener. They can afford to slow it down themselves. They're banning out utility of B&K. They're forcing them to shuffle things up. You start to count a little bit of this utility over towards the B side. You get any spot in, and you might be able to just go for an execute over towards A as well. We start to see some rotations from Vision. He can actually play a little bit of lurk because he doesn't have any of that utility to assist in an attack over at the A side. I actually wouldn't mind just going back to, real big protocols on this map. Get a flash in towards main, get some utility up in towards the deeper side of the site, which is exactly what they're doing at the moment. Get a clean execute and play for a post plant.
As up. Makes it back to 4 versus 4. He's wondering how am I getting shot? Well, it's from behind. Mid is open.
Yeah.
I'm down.
It was a good lurk.
Oh, nice push as well from Skull. Makes this very difficult for Addict and Valiance. And I just think in this situation, they weren't in the best of positions considering how much time that bomb had already been down for. May as well save. Valiance hasn't really got any money anyway.
Yeah. Another one of those scenarios as well for B&K, that the utility that they used earlier on in the round just makes it more difficult to go for a retake. Had it been 3-on-3 and they start to come together as a unit, they might have been able to justify going for it. But as soon as you lose that frag over to Skull Hunter, you just have to go for the save. You've got money to afford it as well, right? You can juggle everything. or rather everyone can kind of get a purchase up into this new round. So you're okay with it, but to flip it over to Vantage, that was a necessary round for them to start to get things happening on their T side, because they still do have to climb back in towards this map. 3 rounds behind. There's at least 2 buys in there for BNK.
Can't stop now, though. One more needs to be coming, and soon you lose this round, and it's still kind of the same scenario where BNK will be able to look to close things out. Not a lot of money for Vantage. Lost a couple of guns in that last round. Win a couple more, though, and suddenly BNK's economy will become a factor, even potentially by the end of this round. So this is still quite pivotal. Aggressive from Hats inside E-Box, but the smoke obscuring the vision, and a push here from Hazza. Well, talk about a trade, both very low. It is Omi that does win out.
Ooh, and a push up from Cracksy. 50 HP. 3 players stacked on this site for BNK. A push in deep, a little bit of an Arise spray goes out from Valiance, and this is all coming up Vantage in the B side. A spray on a Hats down for the count 2. This is what we were waiting to see to come through from Vantage. A nice dominating round of the rifle variety, pushing Addict to a save.
Better from Vantage. That was that moment where Hazza pushes out A main, gets the kill onto Omi, and that could have changed the round completely. And it will stay alive. But money's going to be tight now for BNK. Might even have to think about a save. A hero rifle. That's nice. Just kind of keeps the economy honest for Vantage. Losing 2 there. And probably not now in a position to go hunting to kill Addict. 8 to 10. And all of this pretty much off the back of that timeout that we saw from Vantage earlier on. So clearly have been able to, you know, adapt here, improve as this has gone on. And for BNK, it will likely just be a hero rifle for Addict.
And this scenario as well, I mean, I don't think BNK are going to capitulate by any means, right? It's just taking a knee and coming back with an answer in the next one. But it does give an opportunity for Vantage to build their own economy and make sure that they, if there is a round lost, that they can attack the next one with everything that they need. See what damage Addict can do. He's actually having a field day. 21 kills. Gets shut down real quick, though, by Vision. Who is also having a pretty good showing, mind you. That's 20 on the board for him now.
Yeah, has been really impactful. To be fair, though, pistol round, one rifle in play for BNK. Has a nice with the Deagle. It's looking very likely that Vantage are going to get into a position to maybe tie this up here on Anubis. A little comeback on the T side. Let me get this bomb down. Round's not over. I mean, one more Deagle kill. And suddenly it's 3-on-3. Maybe you could collect a couple of guns. They've still got a little tiny sliver of mid control. It can't really push through mid in towards A or B. One on B itself, and that's PZ. Falls back, sees the Axie, calls over the rotates here. Hasn't lost his life. Keeps the body on site. The Tats, that actually ends up dying. PZ then gets swung on, and that will be the round.
Yeah, I'll see if Hazza can do anything with the Deagle. I mean, there was a gun down at mid doors, but do you want to save that one? Or do you want to remove weapons from your opponent's hand? I think the latter is a little bit enticing. See what he chooses to do, but it's going to bring it within 1 now. Guns are going to come out for BNK, and if they do drop that one, then we're starting to talk about the pendulum swinging. We're starting to see Vantage successfully getting a couple of T rounds where there is a mounted defense by BNK, and Hazza's actually going to opt to grab the AK and take it into the next round. Not a bad idea. So any damage that he could have found on Vantage would have been nice, but yeah, you take the AK in towards the next round, and yeah, you'll be able to do some math and maybe get out an AWP.
When do we get excited, though, for Vantage? From 6-10 to 9-10, 3 rounds in a row? Or is this just another little moment where they've got some semblance of control, only for BNK to then shut it down? Buy round for them now. Of course, Pistol's last round. So this feels like the real task now for Vantage. Is if you just keep winning these rounds, B&K are not going to be able to bite every single round on the CT side.
Just actually noted as well, there was no armor already for Hazard. No Kevlar, no helm, so no AWP to come in this round for B&K. But pretty standard. 3-1-1 at the moment. Lots of utility going down at the mid side of the map. Lots of mollies from both sides. And a couple of smokes over towards the B side of the map as well for Vantage. So it gets a little bit thin on their middle approach. B&K start to take some space over towards the A side of the map. You start to get a little bit of an idea of how B&K are feeling this map is coming on out in this round. The mid pressure for Vantage. They don't want to get crunched upon. They want to shut down any potential later flank to come through from Omi. PZ just holding back as well from camera. But with no utility for himself. It's just all crosshair focus.
There's a hit though, bomb against whoever it was, A main. Omi gets the first one. Addict though,
That's the
he
bomb.
was tucked in, hadn't quite been able to clear him out. Bomb down, as you said. PZ gets caught, cracks his position, called out. He's over towards Heaven. Vision coming in towards A main, and it's Night Raid that is able to get involved again. Called upon him to start to get involved for Vantage on Anubis, and he's done so ever since that call, and he does it again. Deny any kind of hope in this round for B&K as Hats was lurking mid. It will be 10-10. Money will remain tight for B&K. Loss bonus, though, has started to fill up.
Yeah. And with Hazard as well, you know, being able to just save that AK in the previous round, fill up with some utility, it means in this one that he can go for a little bit more of a force up than the rest of his squad. If Valiance is saving an M4 and Hazard can buy, I don't think that incentivizes B&K too much to go and try and get some weapons for the remaining three. But by that point in time, Xenox, you're conceding the lead to Vantage as well. So this next round is going to be a real big decision that B&K have to come out with. Do we want to get out, you know, an AWP to give to PZ and juggle it up, get a Famis over towards Hazard? A lot of decisions to make, you know. Timeouts, of course. B&K still do have them to throw in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 10-10. Massive opportunity for Vantage, though. When you take into account sort of what's on the line here, what's at stake, what you can do by sending this game to overpass. This is also where you have to mentally kind of keep yourself focused on the job at hand. You can't now get to the the end of this and go, oh, okay, well, now it's really tight and you freeze up a little bit. You've got to stay focused, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Night Raid's back in the picture. Vision's been absolutely impeccable. 22-14. And I think for B&K, I mean, like, you take the time out now, you clearly aren't going to be buying into this round. It's going to be pistols. It's buy down to 2 at minimum, and that does mean Vantage should take an 11-10 lead unless they do cook something up. But obviously, it does mean not this round, but the next. You lose that, you probably lose the map. Big emphasis will be on this next round coming up for B&K.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vantage, was talking about it before. This is the map that they have had the most recent playing on as well. You know, they pick it for a reason. You go into overpass, and then you're actually starting to see maybe there was a very slight veto advantage for Vantage. But I mean, the names on B&K still you can't alienate them and isolate them from that conversation. So what we were asking for from Night Raid earlier was the AWP to come into play. I want to see the same for PZ if he's able to afford that out in the next round, because this time it is just those pistols, and PZ is down for the count first.
Solid start to the round. Again, precise there from Night Raid. Just making sure to clear out, play the smoke, gets into a good position, then to catch PZ off guard. Only then to pop out. Reebox, Hatch was basically just praying no one would follow in behind him. Pistol round for B&K, not going to bring them anything. Bomb will go down. Round's going to go the way of Vantage. And with that, they'll take the lead here as well on Anubis. For the first time since they were up 5-1. This is the interesting thing about sort of the storylining here of this map. This is not like some amazing comeback from Vantage.
Yeah,
they had the lead. They had a 5-1 start to this game. It was B&K that then brought it back, and with that reined in quite a lot of dominance, winning 9 of 10 rounds. That was the dominance that they had. Vantage down 6-10 have now won the last 5 in a row. Buy round for BNK. Pretty simple. This is the decider round. If BNK lose this round, they will not really have a whole lot of money. It will be a full force buy. They might be able to scrape together a couple of SMGs and some util in the last round.
The AWP is going to be seeing itself go to PZ's hands, you'd expect. Alex getting that one up for him. So we've been trying to balance out economy, trying to get everything sorted for BNK. This is finally where it will be found. But you got to feel like the momentum has swung into the side of Vantage, right? They're finding opening kills. They're baiting out utility of BNK. They're trying to ensure that there's no deep pushes from BNK over at A main, over through the B archers of main. They're just holding back where required, pushing forward where required. And I think these entries from Vantage that they've been able to find and settle after them as well, right? They haven't found an opener and just gone full guns a-blazing. They've been very well measured in these last couple of rounds. Is that enough to carry him through round number 22 to get to 12, though? It's actually a double setup to come through from B&K.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, Night has had huge impact, hasn't he, in the last couple of rounds? Well, basically during this little streak of Vantage, which ironically we both probably said he needed to get involved if they're going to bring it back, and lo and behold, that's been the case. So maybe just wanting to have a better opportunity of taking him down through these long angles. Just playing a position like E-Box, Addict through mid. Flash, the timing, Skull just mistimes that, gives away his position, but Night answers back. Getting the kill onto PZ, can open up this push through E-Box.
A little bit of utility still for Hats. Need to see that come into play over at this B site, though. But actually, maybe it is just the rifle that needs to stand and deliver a trade on out. And Hats is starting to feel the heat around this site. Calls for some assistance in the form of Hazza. And it almost feels like these bullets are not favoring them. I'll settle down on that one because Hazza will dispatch of a vision. No bomb plant to go just yet. But these frags are going left, right, and center, trading out. And it's all on a Craxy T. Bomb on his back. 50 seconds. An opportunity to whoa. We'll see. It is Addict still here on the line at B. Addict would have to miss the shot, and Graxy T to capitalize very quickly on it.
He can get to default here, or even play backside pill if he wants to just get bombed down, play off of that. He may look to push forward and get a bit of intel. 30 seconds doesn't have a whole lot of time. If he does, it's just a swing to see if anyone's playing Temple. Wow. And it was Hazard. Then the smoke, knowing that Addict's going to want to get involved here. 1 versus 1. Essentially for the map here, Vantage can win it out if Craxy can win, but Addict just times him perfectly. That's ballsy from Addict as well. Didn't really have a whole lot of information to play off of other than the side of the pillar where the bomb goes down. 11-11 and a do or die round, and it was scrappy back and forth in nature, as really Anubis has been for both of these teams.
Addict is dragging his team through the mud in this one to try and get that round, though. Hey, 3 kills at the end of it. Trades coming through from both sides. And even then, it's not really a significant amount of money that B&K do seat themselves in with this round too, right? Hats is down to 38.50. So he's got to sacrifice something. Same can be said for Valiance. He's even got less money. Unless PZ's dropping a rifle over and foregoing utility, someone's going to be down to a Famus to justify getting some utility, or no helmet for Valiance. I mean, that's kind of not the worst thing in the world, considering you're up against the AKs. They'll one-shot you anyways. But he will be getting a helmet because down on Famus. So a real big discussion for both teams in this point in time as well, right? When Vantage are finally seeing things go their way, string of rounds in a row, B&K answer with 1. But at the same point in time, B&K, they had their momentum earlier, right? And it started to falter. Is this the time where, you know, they do take it back?
I mean, that's probably been the story of the semi-final over the 2 maps played, right? You think back even to Vertigo after that little run through from Vantage, then B&K took it back. They did so also even on this map, 5-1 lead for Vantage. B&K took it back. Little 5-round advantage for Vantage, and B&K then stopped that. Yeah. But this is now uncharted territory. So for Vantage is where they've got to counter back themselves after losing that momentum.
Yeah. The thing for Vantage, though, is they've got money regardless if they win this round or not, right? BNK don't. They're playing on 2,900 loss bonus if this doesn't go their way. That means there's no AWP coming out into the next round. That means that they are weaker, down to Famis, down to MP9s if they want to get utility out. This is a round that BNK have to win, and they have to survive with, honestly, 4 or 5 players to have a really good shot at the next round. So the opening kill is going to be really important.
Oh, they're all
look at
flashed.
that.
They are all white.
Oh,
The
no.
spray's not quite perfect. Very low for Craxy T. Skull took some damage as well. And Addict, as the third on the B side, gets on over. They saw them all. They bring the reinforcements. And with that, PZ gets a bit of map control as well, in anticipation of something maybe back over towards the A side. He pushes right out of main.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Handy.
It's so deep. That's not really what we've seen from BNK so far. Is that even going to be just in the world of any thoughts of Vantage? If they navigate through mid, then they don't necessarily need to see him whatsoever. But with a minute to go, there's just so much that would go through your mind in this point in time. Do you, if you are Addict, go for another peek over at B main? The answer is going to be no. They're going to start to navigate through the A side of things, or rather, PZ will fall on back, utility out towards the site of B. Trying to buy time for Skull Hunter on this flank. 40 seconds. There's enough time for him to really get and clear everything towards CT.
He's going to catch a lot off guard here, but to be fair, BNK should be aware that the mid control has been up. They're going to call CT dirty. They're going to call Cave dirty. They have to be aware that there can be a player now in an off-angle position. Full commit over towards B, and PZ's not here with the AWP. He's still over towards A, especially with how slow this round has been pulling out. That molly is going to be really difficult to play off. It should force them out of E-blocks on the backside. Second molly as well. Hazard has to probably throw the smoke down. 1 for 1. Addict at least got his. Hazard doesn't have to throw smoke. That helps quite a lot. Coming in through PZ. Hazard to make first contact as he pushes out. Good spray down with the M4. Down to just Night Raid versus PZ. AWP versus AWP. And PZ pulls out the USP. He spots him. He no-scopes him. Out of E-box and onto the bomb with the defuse and makes it 12-11. Match and series point now for BNK.
Talk about an unreliable 1v1 duel, though. Shotgun AWP positions. Trades to come on through, and through the mollies as well, right? You know, CSGO, Hazard there. He's expecting that molly to spread, but CS2, favor of it. It doesn't. And he's at least able to try and get out, get that one to bring it into the 1v1 for his teammate in PZ, who has had, you know, an underperformance on this map. He's still below 10 kills. Night Raid is not actually that far off it, but one of the most important rounds of this map, the way to BNK on the back of PZ, and it's going to be a bit of a B pop yet again. Info for BNK.
Oh, Vision hides. But Skull showed presence, and Vision then pops out for a kill onto Hats. Try and send this one to overtime. Vantage now with the advantage.
Oh, the
PZ
PZ
takes it back, and that's a big kill onto a player that's been in some form over the last 6 or so rounds onto Night Raid. AWP down for them momentarily. Bomb still lurking over towards B main. Through canals they go, of which they've got presence and pressure. 2 on B site for BNK.
I don't even think that was any flash or anything to come through from Vantage over at A main. I think that was just a dry peek to come out for Night Raid, and PZ just whacks him out of the rounds. Now you've got 2 members here for BNK around this B site.
Oh, through the smoke from Skull. As Valiance was looking to try and stop that push out of E-box. 3 versus 4. Bomb down. 1 kit in hand. It's with PZ. Hazard plays the long angle with Addict. They double stack. They will triple stack towards Cave. Addict plays first contact, loses. This one's surely going to overtime. Flashes to come through. 2 versus 3 now. Not a lot of time, and there goes the kit as well for PZ, losing his life. For Hazard, no kit in hand. Needs to make a play quickly, but no one's peeking for Vantage. We're going to overtime here on Anubis.
Yeah. 12 apiece. You know, the important round I said for BNK, they had to be winning that previous one with almost 4 or 5 alive to get a real sensational buy to come out in round number 24. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Vantage get those openers. They get the bomb plant down. 3 versus 1 attempt to come through at the end of that one. And we see ourselves in a lot closer of a map than Vertigo was, you know, looking to be at all You know, it felt like Vertigo was almost just done and dusted by the time the 6th round was done.
Yep.
And now, I mean, you know, Vantage have that run early on. BNK bring it back. Vantage bring it back. We get to OT. Everyone won't be plagued by money issues, which is a really good thing.
Ooh, triple cross in towards water. Hats did spot a couple. Can call that out. No one really playing aggressive towards A main. And that's a nice kill for Night Raid. Again, a second to follow. Big advantage to begin overtime for Vantage. Up 3-5. And not what BNK needed.
Yeah, and even Addict tagged down to 22 HP. So he's got to play a little bit of a different line with the AWP. As Craxy T gets sprayed, everyone on Vantage is grouping up around the A side of the map. Deeper smoke over to his camera as well, just to try and make sure that Hazard doesn't have to watch from behind. As he's on the line, he finds a kill. Addict gets spotted out. Timing, as you mentioned it. Things are starting to look good for Vantage to try and close out this round. And Valiance again gets timed. This is just not looking good for BNK. And Night Raid has the good read, knows where Hazard's coming from. Will not miss that one. Finally, the AWP again for Night Raid getting the job done.
Yeah, really big from Night Raid. I think he was like 4 and 12 at one point, something along those lines, and now 15, 16, big turnaround. It's why the mental aspect of Counter-Strike is so important, Dion, where you know, you can start slow, but you got to back yourself in. He had arguably the best performance for Vantage back on Vertigo, so he was able to just kind of keep focus. That was just a scrappy round for BNK. All the timing goes against them. The 50-50s go the way of Vantage. They just brushed that one off as a one-off. Or obviously a CT side that's been quite difficult for them. Spray, Vision expecting the pop flash run out. It's a full 5-man stack though outside B main. Gonna need to at least get 1 or 2 here, Valiance, from this position, from this angle. Full util dump, and they don't clear him close. Craxy though, a little bit cautious, and Vision was able to at least check the very close angle. Shot miss from PZ. The nade doesn't from Skull, and now can get the plant down. They also catch a second onto Hats, and Omi with a massive kill makes it a 2 versus 4 retake scenario for Addict and Hazard, and they don't even give this one a chance. Up to 14-12 for Vantage.
I mean, I gotta say, the layering of flashes as well from Vantage just to bombard in towards the site there, clearing out quick trades, good HE grenade onto PZ. He has not had, you know, really any advantageous duels in what feels like this map whatsoever, PZ, besides maybe one round. And that round, you know, wasn't even really an advantage. It was that, the AWP no-scope, wasn't it? So, 14 on the board. T side is proving its strength for the side of Vantage. If they can get this one here, that means that BNK also have to then emulate that themselves on the flip. Otherwise, we are going to the decider and overpass. And I mean, you know, I'm looking at it from an armchair position coming in towards this series. Who would have actually expected a third map to be coming out? You know, if you don't see the video, if you don't see this performance, if you just look after map number 1, you probably think, oh yeah, this is done.
There was a 9-0 start on Vertigo, wasn't it? Back on map number 1. Even the way that things started on Anubis and then the comeback for BNK, 9 of 10 rounds, and thought, you know, at 6-10, yeah, done enough. But credit to Vantage. At no point have they felt like the task is going to be too much for them, to be too big. 2 rounds away from sending us to overpass, a map that they have played very recently, twice as of yesterday, and will be quite familiar with. Flash is good. Hazard scaffolding, though, now no longer blind, but it's still Skull. Clean with the sharp shot. Checks the close angle. Vision, though, he loses his life to Valiance. 4 versus 4. One of the better retake scenarios that we've seen for BNK in overtime. Hat still in the smoke. Hazard as well. Omi slips in behind him. He could still hold this position, but he got shot. Cleared the smoke. Was PZ. Smart. Not a lot of time left on this bomb, and Skull with a good position. Do they double swing? One still holding from Waterfall. They clear out that position in heaven. Craxy T in the 2 versus 2, but he's so low. So is Night Raid. Both body shot potential. PZ could easily get both of them here by just running and gunning. But he's got no time because he hasn't got a kit in his hand. Are you kidding me?
Oh, hang on. He still might have it.
Oh,
he's just got it. That's got to be so close. I need to know. That had to be 0.02 or 0.3 or something like that. You have to be sweating bullets at that point in time.
There's no way.
Oh.
He misses the kit, and then I thought that's it.
Yeah.
0.0 something. But made the right call, and good comms that the last two were low. The last two were very much one-shots, body shots, and he just started running and gunning and treated that M4 as if it was an MP9. 14 at 13.
The difference at the end there as well, right? If he doesn't switch to his knife, if he misses the kit again, if he paths that differently, if he just fumbles the defuse key, there's so much that little split millisecond could have changed. But the biggest difference in it is that now BNK can actually win on their T side. They don't have to emulate what Vantage has just done to get 3 in a row. To go for another realm of OT.
You have to recall that Vantage were not awful on their own CT side.
Correct, yeah.
And that was back when Night Raid wasn't really performing all that well either. So, by no means is that one round going to be enough for BNK. It does, to me, feel like they're going to want another one here. Valiant wins the battle of the swing over towards A main, but through Waterfall, Omi gets the trade. 1-for-1. Minute to go.
Bit of emphasis still on a push through mid for BNK too. Haas is going to try and find some timing to go up through the middle as BNK start to set out with a little bit of utility towards the B side. See if they can bait anything out onto the side itself. But there, as I say, Hats has gone up through mid, finding some right timing, getting 2. Hazza to find 1, and now it's all on a Skull Hunter who is also lurking around the B side of the map. As soon as they figure out where he is, it should be a done round for BNK, but they're still playing it respectfully. 30 seconds to go. The bomb has not even made its way to the site itself just yet. Hats will start to clear out A. And Skull Hunter now will be found, but unfortunately misses the shot. 14 all. We're tied up, Xenox.
And we certainly are. Felt like for a split second again that BNK were on the brink. And they have been able to fight back, and now they have an opportunity on the T side of Anubis. How are they going to want to play this? Again, thinking back, first half, it was a 5-1 lead for Vantage to begin on their own CT side. And that was kind of without Night Raid really popping off. He's on the AWP. He's going to be able to, I think, be really impactful. Down through mid he goes. Hasn't really been a whole lot of bridge play between these two teams, admittedly. I actually felt like he did a lot of his best work over towards this position that Skull's playing E-box, either the peak long through Canal or holding the close angle with the AWP. But likes not to play there. In fact, he might want to go for a swing through bridge into the window and take a battle from there. And that's exactly what he's done onto PZ.
Yep. So focused on the molly that there's going to be someone to peek from behind it. Hazard there as well, but not quick for any sort of later trades. Now he's stuck. No one to extend out through the B main side of things. So that first opening kill is going to be nice and cemented for Vantage, who can actually just switch to a passive mode if they want to. They've baited out a lot of this utility from BNK already. You got a single smoke on Hazard. He's stuck in E-box, so that really limits where he can try and get that out.
Five seconds remaining. 4 versus 5. No left for Hazard. Frag and a shot to the head onto Skull. He gets a second as well from that position, and Craxy just gets absolutely decimated. Hazard winds back the clock, bomb to go down. Now it's a retake scenario for Vantage. Hazard hit some clean shots before on site, but he couldn't win that one against Omi. Now makes it a 2 versus 2. I do know he's going to be coming from this E-box position, but are they aware, though, of the location of Night Raid?
No smoke.
Temple and Night Raid just checks right side instead of left and loses the 50-50. Down to Omi in a 1 versus 2. No kit in hand. Now he has it. Clears Temple, but he gets shot in the back. 15-14. Match and series point for BNK once again.
Yep. They don't want to let this one slide either, right? They've got all the weaponry. They've got all the utility. Got a big opportunity. Night Raid does have an AWP in his hand, but unfortunately, with the way that the money is here, 12,500, he's gone, you know, to request that from a teammate and didn't have enough to get any Kevlar himself. So Night Raid is playing Glass Cannon in a really important round in this series. rest of his team at least do have the rifles, the utility as well. You 100% need to see an advantage from Vantage, an opening pick.
Yeah.
Once bitten, twice shy. PC has to be careful of that upper window. They don't even want to stay around to look after an E-box play, a push, or anything of sorts.
This is also, though, where, Dion, you can't get too nervous in the scenario that's at hand. Don't overthink this. Go still for these aggressive plays. That's what he's going to be doing. Frag backfires. He's in a good position, but Addington
That's the
has
A site.
Yeah, they've got that completely now. And you've got to keep in mind that the location of Hats in mid. Push through. Nice molly, though. And Skull's able to kind of get in and kind of help out. Night Raid will play from main. He's got to get going. Bomb's already down.
Yeah, Night Raid is going to be really difficult to get in towards this one, but Vision onto one. The trades start to come on through. It's Skull Hunter and Night Raid, but how long can Night Raid creep up? He has to get up here. They know where Hats was as well. He was lurking in through mid. They mollied him off. A push through the smoke. Skull Hunter cannot afford to miss this spray. The shots are out nice and early, but he has to reload. Oh, no, but Night Raid, okay, take a deep breath. Gets the kill, gets the defuse. Another round of OT.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, just a bit of a panic spray. But no panic from Night Raid. Now 19 and 19. Vision up to a 30 bomb. We go again. An opportunity for the second time squandered by B&K as this extends further on Anubis. B&K win this and Vantage are out. We have our grand final matchup. Vantage win this. We go to overpass after a string of overtimes.
Really just does come down to who's better at managing these mid rounds as well, isn't it? You know, a couple of fumbles in the early stages and the late stages, but the mid rounds are really where it's found its way. All of the trades starting to come on through. A leg shot out and Skull Hunter cannot disconnect from that one. Plant down an advantage for B&K.
Clean. Difference between a kill and a body shot there. The body shot just allows Anik to continue to push through. Get the spray down, and that's unfortunate for Omi, and that's probably the round.
Yeah. I mean, even damage at this point in time doesn't really do too much, right? Because it's OT. It just pads a stat. I guess you don't want to see yourself in a sort of...
Hang on. Hang on. Never mind.
Knife in the back. Never mind. Just say you don't want to see yourself in another scenario where if you're Night Raid, you're playing glass cannon into the later stages of the rounds, but you add a little bit of shenanigans into the later stages of this one. B&K will get the round though.
Would have looked quite silly if that had have obviously worked. Did not. B&K lead again. Clearly, to me, their T side's been a little bit more cleaner than the CT side. So I think for B&K here, got to get the rounds on the board.
Yeah. And I mean, even the historical stats back that up for Vantage, that they are, you know, more formulated on the T side of this map than the CT side. Look over towards B&K though, and I mean, it's slightly T-sided, but it is a bit better for Vantage.
Oh, a bit of a slow walk there from Skull. Doesn't check close left. I'm not sure what Vision's doing there too. Attic gets a double. Night Raid now, after getting that kill onto PZ through Canals, he's able to help out towards B main. And Hats wins the battle against Craxley on 1 HP. Advantage B&K. And Hats are through E-Box. Easy one onto Night Raid. 17-15 coming up.
Yep. Unless Omi comes out with some real magic. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that one. You need four 1v1s, essentially. There's the first. Hats is on a single point of HP, as you said, but has it for the swing. There's 2 T-sided rounds for B&K. A little bit of over-aggression for Vantage in that one, though. They'll probably reel it in for this next one.
This is where it slips away, though, for Vantage. I mean, when you think about regular time, overtime, the match points B&K, they only really had the sort of one. If you know, B&K find themselves in a position where they can have kind of a multitude. Vantage are going to have to be clean for quite a few rounds in a row. Don't want this lead to slip any further. If it goes to 18-15, it's going to be a very nerve-wracking T side. Good start for Hats there.
Duel.
Battle of the Bridge goes his way, gets rid of the AWP. No Night Raid, who's been so impactful. Opens up mid lane 2, something to keep in mind. Not that B&K have really abused it all that much.
I wanna add as well, in those last 2 rounds, Vision's not been able to get a single kill. When we went into this second round of OT, he was still on 30, and now it's still there. So I definitely want to be seeing something attributed to Vision in this round, who is just burning. He has just gone from 100 to 0 in a molly, which is real rough.
And into a cooked chicken. On for the smoke. All timed has it. Okay, that just opens the round back up. And if that shot had a hit from Skull Hunter, then I would have been amazed.
Yeah.
Flicks, he's not going to find it though. Craxy, low on health after getting the first. Good tag as well as Valiant. It's not impossible from here. Then M4A4, the nade will do it.
Good bowling.
Ironically looking to actually just open up the smoke there, gets the kill. 18-15 match points now go the way of B&K to close out this semi-final and book themselves a spot in the grand final against Rooster.
And it's 3 of them as well. They haven't seen this clean of a closing circle just yet, right? It's always just been that 1 round for them to try and get the map done. But now 3 opportunities to be able to do so. And they go to their CT side, which, I mean, you look towards the regulation phase, you know, they had a good start with the pistol round in the mix. The rifle rounds were there, but that's when we started to see, you know, Vantage get these plants, get these bomb explosions, get these rounds flowing 5 in a row. Before, you know, the first OT happened. So can B&K find what they need to do, maybe without taking too many risks, or are they in the mindset that they know exactly how to close it? It's just a push through mid, and it's trades.
We haven't seen that a whole lot, though, from B&K on the CT side. Push through mid smoke. Kind of worked 1 for 1. You take it, weakens T side. But they've got E-box control.
Yeah,
with that, you can take bomb B main. Addict, hello, he had no idea. Got one. Surely the swing to come from Hat. He goes a little slow. Allows Omi to push out, and with that, Omi got good position. Gets the kill, 3 on 2.
It's good to see that the mid push didn't really disrupt Vantage too hard. Maybe a 4-3 scenario for Addict at the later bit of that duel for Craxy T as well. But they get the job done nevertheless. Plant down. Molly a little bit late from Hazard. It is going to tickle him and force him back a bit. Leaves an open opportunity for Hazard to spray down Omi.
1 HP.
Vision's on 1 HP. A flash and a smoke could even finish him, but Hazard's just looking to seal the deal himself. The trades. PZ's got an AWP. He doesn't know how low it is, but Vision just sprays him down through the smoke. A single point of HP. Xenox, I mentioned that Vision hadn't had a single kill. He didn't have a single kill in the CT side of this overtime, but now comes through with the 2 required to keep Vantage still in it.
1 HP and a dream for Vision. Yeah, ate that molly.
Yeah.
Obviously got the bomb down, but was able to live it. 16-18. And B&K go again. Vantage hold on for dear life by quite literally the slimmest of margins. And it's a slow round from both sides, it seems like.
Yeah.
I
don't mind it either. You know, these are the sort of tests as well. If B&K do change it up and just go really passive, Vantage have to try and feel like they need to find the space. Emphasizes a little bit more utility clearance. That Molotov now is essentially a wasted piece of util because it's met with a smoke, but hey, it draws out an extra molly from PZ, so you'll kind of take that one in the exchange. It's always going to favor the T's if they can bait out a lot of that util from B&K. Mind you, a spot out from Valiant. It's deeper towards the mid side of the map. So you get an idea that things go towards the A side of the map. In a 1-on-1 trade, this is where they want to turn up the pace.
Oh, that's a tough spot for Craxy. Molly behind him. Turned for the flash. Addict was able to just spray down even though he's full white. Does give his position up though to Night Raid. 3 on 3. Bomb shown now over towards A main. Smoke goes out. Can play up towards Waterfall, but Hats is playing a close angle and may look to actually just slip into the smoke itself.
Yeah, 40 seconds to go though. It is Anubis. You can cheat or rotate through canals, but you can't do so quietly with 30 seconds to go. Valiant, if he hears anything, can drop down from above. You've got
One's watching
Peasy on
it.
the site. Is he already scoped on into main? There's the info though. Val, great timing on a night raid. Peasy is scoped, so he's very silent, creeping around the site. There goes Vision, and now it's all on a Skull Hunter, a tap on. He almost has to go for the plant at this point in time because time is just ticking away. There's the first and the second. He spotted both of them. He cannot get it done. So 19-16 is the final scoreline, 2-0, but there was certainly a world in which it could have gone to a third multiple